Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to show you about my project car rental system, which I have developed using Spring Boot microservices and React.js. So the technologies which I have used for the development of the projects are Spring Boot microservices for the backend, React.js for the frontend, MySQL for the database, and Maven for the project and the dependency management. And for the styling purpose I have used Bootstrap. And the softwares which I have used for the development of the projects are STS or Spring Tool Suite for the backend, VS Code for the front end, and I have used MySQL Workbench for data querying and the manipulation. User modules present in the project. So the project basically has two user modules. The very first one is administrator module. The second one is customer module. And now let's see the functional modules present in the project. So the very first and the very important functional module is user authentication module. The second one is customer module. Then we have car company module. Then we have car variant module. The fifth one is car module, and the last one and the very important module is booking and the payment module. Now before moving forward, let me tell you very important thing, that if you go to my YouTube channel Code with Murad, and if you scroll down, you'll be able to see that I have already created this application car rental system using Spring Boot and React.js, this one. But that application was monolithic. Okay, that was using the monolithic architecture. But now what I have done is I have converted that monolithic application into the microservices application. And now let me explain you in deep like how the earlier project was and how I have converted that to the microservices. Okay, so let me explain you through the architecture diagram. Okay, so earlier our application car rental system was made using the Spring Boot monolithic architecture, and by using this image we can easily understand that. Okay, so we have the front end application using the React.js, we have the overall backend application using the Spring Boot application, and for the database we have used the MySQL, right? So the request is coming from the front end and backend is handling that request, and this Spring Boot application, overall Spring Boot application is handling that particular request. It is communicating with the database and giving the response to the front end application, right? But here if you see the complete REST APIs, okay, the overall backend operations are written in the single project, you can say, or in the single service, okay, here. But now what we have done in the while converting that to monolithic to microservices, what I have done is I have converted that into the multiple microservices. I mean, we can say we have split up that single application into multiple services, and that we are calling as a microservices. Now let's see the microservices architecture. So now this is how it is looking now. Okay, if you see the front end is exactly the same, but here in the backend part, okay, earlier this was the backend application which was the monolithic application, okay, but now here the single backend application we have split up into multiple microservices. Okay, we have made user service out of that, we have made car service out of that, and the booking service. Okay, so these three are the functional application functional microservices, and apart from that we have other two important service, which is API gateway and the service registry. Okay, so now we can see we have split up our backend application into multiple services, right? And also if you notice here, earlier the single backend application was connected with the one database, right? And this database was having all the tables related to the applications like user, address, driving license, then we have company, vehicle, variant, then booking, payment. All the tables were created in the single database, and that was connected with our monolithic backend application. But now if you see, since we have split up that single project into multiple project, or we can say multiple services, which we are calling microservices, each service will have its own database. So here this user service will have its own database, and if you see here, now we have only 3 tables inside this database which is connected with the user service. Okay, and this car related service will have only the car related, vehicle related tables with this database, with its connected database. Okay, and the booking service will have only the booking related tables like booking and the payment, right? And let's suppose in future if we integrate the payment gateway also, then again that we can create in us another microservice, and that microservice will be having its own database. So I hope the complete thing is clear to you. Earlier, single backend application, monolithic application was connected with a single database, but now since we have split up those into multiple microservices or multiple projects, so each service will be having its own database. Here we can see all the table in a single database, but now here we can see those tables are also split up into multiple database, and those are connected with the respective microservices. And now let's see the request flow, how it will be. So earlier the request flow was very simple. The request was coming from the React.js application from the front end, it was coming to the back end, and it was communicating with the database, and it was giving the response to the front end. But now here we have inside the back end we have multiple things, and all those things will communicate together to give the response to the front end here. Okay, so the request will come to the back end, and in the back end the request will come to the API gateway. Okay, this API gateway will be open to the front end. I mean, this front end cannot directly communicate with this microservices, service, like user service, car service, and the booking service. Okay, it will communicate only with the API gateway, and then API gateway will route the request to the respective microservice. I mean, now let's suppose if from the front end user raised the request for adding the or registering the user, so the request will come to the API gateway. API gateway will communicate with the service registry, and it will find where exactly it needs to be routed. Okay, and then it will find, oh, this is user register, that means user service will be handling this request, so it will route the request to the user service. And let's suppose user service requires the help of any of the microservice, it will communicate internally, and then it will save that in the database in the user table, and then it will give the response back to the API gateway, and the API gateway will give the response to the front end. In the similar way, now let's suppose if some user is raising the request for booking the car. Okay, the request will come from the front end to the API gateway. API gateway will communicate with the service registry and find that I need to route this request to the booking service. It will route the request to the booking service, and then it will communicate with the car and the user service whether the car which is in this booking, whether it is present in the car database or not, and also the user which is raising the request for the booking the car, whether it is present in the user service database or not. If everything is clear, it will save the request in the database, and it will give back the response to the API gateway, and API gateway will give the response to the front end. So I hope you are getting my point. Okay, I have created this architecture diagram to easily understand the concept. Okay, so earlier this was the architecture, but now we have this, and if you notice, only the backend part is changed and the front end part is exactly same. And now let's see the functionality of each microservices. Okay, so here we have car rental microservices details section. Firstly, we have the service registry here, which is here. So let's see what's the use of that. So here it registers and manages all the microservices. Okay, that means when we start our microservices in Eclipse IDE or STS or whatever IDE, so it registers and manages all those microservices, ensuring they can communicate efficiently within the system. Okay, so as I told, API gateway communicates with the service registry, and it then routes to the required service, and in a similar way each microservices can easily communicate with them internally using the service registry. So this is the use of the service registry. Then we have the API gateway. It acts as a single entry point for all the requests. Okay, so as I told, this front end cannot directly communicate with the user service, car service, and the booking service. Okay, that's the reason we have the gateway here, which we are calling as an API gateway. All the requests coming from the front end, it will intercept here, it will communicate with the service registry, and then it will route it to the required microservices, right? So that's why here we have written acts as a single entry point for all the request routing and the load balancing. Then we have the user service. So it will handle all the user related APIs, registration, login, fetch details. Fine. Earlier in the backend, all those operations will be were done in the single backend application, the single Spring Boot project, right? Then we have the car service. It handles only the car related APIs like vehicles, its variants, and in the similar way, The booking service will handle all the car booking related APIs like book car, approve, reject request, then booking the payment, right? So booking and the payment, all those things will be handled by the booking services. So I hope you are getting my point, like what exactly I have done. I have migrated the Spring Boot monolithic application to the microservices. Fine. Now if we talk about how this can benefit the student. So if you see here, now we have both the monolithic and the microservices version of the same project, car rental system. So if a student is already good at Spring Boot but doesn't have the experience with the microservices, so this comparison give you the motivation and the clarity to move forward. Many students know Spring Boot well but feel scared of the microservices. By seeing the same project in monolithic and the microservices form, you'll realize that microservices are not something completely new. It is just a Spring Boot applied in a better architecture. So as we can see here, this was the monolithic architecture and this is the microservices architecture. And now since we have understood the monolithic architecture and the microservices architecture, let's see the actual car rental system microservices in our STS or Spring Tool suite. And for that, let's go to the other end. So here we can see we have multiple car rental system microservices, right? But before going to the microservices, firstly let's see the monolithic application. So earlier we were having the backend application, the monolithic application, which was handling all the operations. So we have the car rental system backend master. Okay, so this was our monolithic application. So if you see here, src main java, so here this was dealing with the complete operation. Okay, so we were having all these tables: address, booking, company, driving license, payment, user, variant, and the vehicle, right? So we can see here in the monolithic architecture, it is dealing with all the tables here, right? In the similar way, if we go to the controller, it is having all the REST APIs created in the controller package, and it has all the APIs related to the vehicle, user, then company controller, booking controller. It is having all the APIs in a single project, which is car rental backend master, right? But now what we have done is we have split up that particular single monolithic application into multiple services, and which we are calling as a microservices. So we have user service, car service, and the booking service, right? So here we have car rental booking service, car rental car service, and the car rental user service, these three thing, right? Then we have the API gateway and the service registry also, which I have shown here, service registry and the API gateway. Okay, so firstly let's see the service registry, what I have done in the service registry. So if we open it, let me open the form.xml file, because that is very important thing. So as I told here, it registered and manages all the microservices, ensuring they can communicate efficiently within the system. So here if you go to the dependency section, I have added here very important dependency, which is Eureka server, Netflix Eureka server, right, which is running on the port 8761, and it is the default for the Eureka server. Okay, and now after that we have the API gateway. So if I open the pom.xml file of the API gateway, so here the important thing is cloud starter. So in the dependency section, we can see here cloud starter and the Netflix Eureka client. Okay, and here if I open the application.yml file, okay, our API gateway will run on the port 8080. Fine, and if you see here Eureka instance here, so that means when we run our application API gateway, it will get registered with the Eureka, and the same port of the Eureka we have given here. That means when we start our application, it will get registered into the Eureka server, right, 8761. So if you see, this is the port of the Eureka, right? Let me open that again. You can see server port 8761, right? In the similar way, if you see the application.yml file for all the microservices, it is registering with the Eureka server. Okay, I have written here 8761 localhost 8761, because our Eureka server will also run in the same system. Fine, In the similar way, all the microservices will be having the same thing. So till now we have seen the service registry and the API gateway, right? Now let me do one thing. Let me run the service registry. So for that, what we can do, so if you have the STS or Spring Tool Suite, you'll be able to see this boot dashboard here. You can simply run the project from here. Okay, so I'll just click on the start, okay, and let it run now. And if you are using Eclipse ID, then from here also you can simply run. Okay, you can right click on the project and run as the Java application. But for that, you will have to go to the main class. You can go to the main class and right click and run as the Java application. Okay, but since we have the STS, then everything, the complete overview of the services we are able to see in the boot dashboard. Now let's see whether our service registry started. So it is running. Let's wait. Okay, so here if you see, started car rental service registry application. Okay, and as I told, it is running on the default port 8761. Okay, which we have given here. So what I'll do now, I'll open the browser and I'll write here localhost 8761. Okay, and let's see. So you'll be able to see the complete dashboard here. Okay, and if you run the application, it will get registered with the Eureka server. But here if you see, there is no instance application. Okay, so in this place you'll be able to see all your microservices which is registered with the Eureka server, fine, or service registry. So here we can see instance currently registered with the Eureka, and it is empty because if you see, only service registry is running and no other application is running. Okay, so the application which is running here, that we can find using this upper arrow. Right now, since we have seen the API gateway also, I'll start it also, and this is running on port 8080. And here I have told this API gateway will receive all the requests on the front end. Okay, and not this user service. Fine. So that means the IP and the port of the API gateway should be given to the front end, right? So if I open the front end application, so this user register part also, you can see localhost 8080. Okay, let me check another API also. So here you can see 8080, but you'll not be able to see the IP and the port of any other services. But for the API gateway, the IP and the port of the API gateway we have shared to the front end, and API gateway will then communicate with the other microservices based on the request. So yeah, we can see our car rental API gateway is also running fine. It is running on port 8080. Fine. And now you can see the upper arrow. That means your application has started. What I'll do, I'll just refresh it again. And now you can see car rental API gateway is also running, and it is running on port 8080. So I hope you are getting my point. Since both are up, so in the service registry or the Eureka server also, you are able to see the detail of the microservices. In the similar way, if you run booking service, car service, and the user service, those will also get registered with the Eureka server. And after that, now let me explain you one more important thing. Like, since here I have told like API gateway is responsible to route the request coming from the front end to the desired application. Okay, so how that will be handled by the API gateway. So let me explain in the code. So here if you open the car rental API gateway and the application.yml file here, so here you can see you have the section of the routes. Okay, so now let's suppose the request hit by the front end is related to the user service. Okay, so here I have added the prefix API user, and for the booking I have added API booking, and for the car service I have added the API car. And why I have added this, we cannot directly or randomly, we cannot add any prefix here. Okay, that should be present in the actual service. So if I open the car service, okay, and this company controller, so you'll be able to see every API will be having the prefix API car. We could have added that in the context path also. In the similar way, if you see the booking APIs, okay, API booking. Fine. The same we can see in the routing section, right? API user, API booking, API car. So I hope you are getting my point. So we have added here the prefix. That means if the request coming from the front end has the prefix API user, then we will route that to the user service. And if it is for the API booking, then we will route that to the booking service. But if you notice here in the load balancer, okay, this LB means load balancer. In the URL, we have not given the IP port. And why we have not given that? Because we have the service registry, and service registry has all the services registered with it. Fine. As we can see, now we have the API service which is registered with the Spring Eureka server, right? So that's the reason no need of adding the IP and the port. Let's suppose if you don't have the Eureka server, then at that time you'll have to manually write the IP and port of each of the microservices here. So I hope you got the usage of the service registry also. And now let me show you that here earlier our backend application which was connected to the database, that particular database was having all the tables with it, right? Which we can see in the monolithic application. Car rental backend master, if you open the entities, it has all the entities here in the entity package, and this entity is you can say table in the database. Fine. But if you see the user service, then it has only 3 tables. Car has only 3 tables. Booking has only 2 tables, right? Let's check that. So in this way, by comparing the code also, you can easily understand the complete functionality of the project and the complete architecture. So here the car service has only company, variant and the vehicle. That means all the vehicle related APIs are there in the car service. If you go to the user service, then we have the entity, address, driving license and the user, right? User, address and the driving license. Fine. And now let me explain you the very important thing, like if there is a usage of another microservices. Okay, now let's suppose if booking service has the dependency on the car service and the user service, and it can be 100%, right? Now let's suppose user raise a request for booking the car. The request will go to the API gateway. It will route it to the booking service. But booking service, since it has not connected with this database and this database, right? That means he doesn't have the information about this car and this user details, right? So he cannot find like whether the car for which the user is booking, whether it is there in the car database or not, in this car service or not, and the user which has raised the request for booking the car, whether that is genuine user or not, whether it is actually stored in this user service or not. Then at that time this booking service will need to communicate with these two service. Okay, booking service will need to communicate with the car service that whether this car is already present in this database or not, and whether the user which is raised the request for the booking the car, whether it is present in the database or not. So for this purpose, booking service will need to communicate with the user and the car service. Okay, and now let me show that part. Okay, but before seeing the actual code for the microservices, I'll show like how the monolithic application was handling that. So I'll open the booking controller here, and here API booking add. So this API is for booking the customer rent. Okay, so here this is the API booking add, and this is the request body. That means we will be receiving this JSON from the front end, which will be having the data, start date, end date, customer ID, the variant ID, and the booking ID, status, and the vehicle ID. I mean all these details we will be getting from the front end, right? And then it will pass to the booking resource layer, okay, where we have written all the business logic. Fine. So earlier in the monolithic application, this code which I have opened is for the monolithic. So we are saying how it is exactly, how it was managing all those things. Okay, so earlier the request was, when it was coming, we were validating all the request. Okay, then we were fetching the variant, and we were checking whether it is already present in the database or not. If it is not, then we will give the response as a bad request variant not found. In the similar way, the customer who has raised the request for booking the car, okay, whether it is present in the database or not. So here if you see, we are directly fetching the database, the user and the car detail from the connected database, because this database has all the tables with it, right? So let me show here like how it is fetching. So car service, we are calling this method get by id, right? And it is directly communicating with the DAO layer or the repository layer to find the variant, right? As we can see here. In the similar way, if you see for the user, so based on the customer id which we have received from the front end, okay, we are directly querying with the connected database, right? We can see it is communicating with the DAO layer or the repository layer. From the DAO layer, it is fetching the user using the user id, and if it is not present, it will return the null, right? And if it will return null, it will simply give the response as a bad request, customer not found in the system. But if it is found, then we will proceed with the other things like setting the booking object, right? All the fields we will set in the object in the entity, and then we will save that in the booking table, right? As we can see here, for adding the customer booking, we will simply use a save method. So I hope you are getting my point. So for the validation of the variant, car variant and the customer detail, we simply got those details from the connected database using the repository or the DAO layer, okay? But now the question is how that will be possible in the microservices, because this booking service is not connected with the car related database and the user related database, okay? User service and the car service is connected with those respectively. Fine. So now let's see how this internal microservices communication will happen. So now we will open the booking service, okay? And here we have only the booking controller, okay? But earlier in the main application, in the monolithic, it was having the booking controller, company controller, helper controller, user controller, variant, and the vehicle controller. I mean all the controllers it was having, but now we have the booking controller. So I'll open it, and here if you see, we have all the APIs related to the booking. So again, we have the same API created here in the booking service, and here again we will get the same request, okay? We will get the same request on the front end, and when I open it, so here again we are doing the validation whether the request which we are receiving, it is proper or not, whether it is not null and all the thing, okay? Request is equal to null. If anything will be failed, then I'll simply give the response as an invalid request, okay? But now here if you see, let me open the booking resource from the monolithic part also, and from the microservices part also. So this is from the monolithic part, and this is from the microservices part. So earlier it was calling it from the data, the connected database, but now here we are using the vehicle service, okay? Fetch the vehicle by ID. So if you see this code, then you'll not be able to find, like you can say, you'll feel like the complete thing is same only, but it is not, okay? Here we are using this variant service. Let's see what is this variant service, okay? So this variant service here is, I'll open it. So it is coming from the package external. So if you go here in the booking microservices, we have the package here, and here you have the variant service and the user service, okay? But this is not directly communicating with the database, okay? What exactly it is doing, let me show. So here I have opened the variant service. Let me close this. I hope the point is clear now from the monolithic point of view. I'll close it, and let's see the main booking resource from the booking microservices. Okay, so what I'll do, if you see, using this vehicle ID, we are trying to fetch the variant vehicle, right? So what I'll do, I'll open this method. Okay, so this is coming from the variant service, and which is present in the external package. Okay, booking.external. So here we can say for internal microservices communication, we are using the Fin client. Okay, we can see here Fin client. Okay, so this variant service, this particular surface or interface which we have created here, okay, this will be responsible to communicate with the car rental car service. Okay, this car service, and in the similar way in the external package we have the user service also. So if I open it, so here the again I have used the Fin client for the communication. That means our booking service, whenever I want to communicate with the user service, then I'll simply use this user service. Okay, and you can easily find that using the Fin client, because we have annotated this interface with the Fin client. Okay, and the name, service name we have given is car rental user service. Okay, and also in the URL we have given the actual uh, IP and the port. So here it is localhost 8080, right, which is the IP and the port of the API gateway again. So if you say here, firstly, after the validation, the request validation, we were calling the vehicle. So here we are trying to fetch the vehicle using the vehicle ID. I'll open this, and what exactly it will do is it will fetch the vehicle using the vehicle ID. Okay, so if you see here API car and this vehicle fetch, right, we are calling this method only, right, fetch vehicle by ID. Yeah, vehicle fetch. Now what I'll do, I'll open the car service. Okay, controller, I'll open this vehicle and open this. I'll search here the same. Okay, vehicle fetch is not there. Okay, because vehicle we have at the top, and then we have the fetch method at the below. So we are passing the vehicle. This API requires the vehicle ID in the request param, and the same thing we have done here. Okay, we have passed the vehicle ID, right? So that means this particular API of the car service will be responsible for handling that particular request, and what it will do is it will simply fetch the vehicle ID, and it will check whether this is null or not. If it is null, it will simply give the response as a bad request, variant ID is missing, right, and it will pass the response to the booking service. Fine. Then after that, it will query in its connected database. Okay, this car service will query that whether this vehicle is present in this table or not. Okay, so if it is not present, it will again give like vehicle not present. But if it is present, it will fetch the vehicle, and it will set in the response, and it will give the response as a vehicle fetched successful. So if you go here, it is calling this method, and this particular method is responsible to call the car rental service. Okay, car service. Okay, it will fetch the vehicle. It will fetch the vehicles, right? Because if you see here, we are setting the vehicle, this object in the vehicles field, right? So in the similar way, we have created the same DTO class in the booking service to handle that particular response. Fine. So we have received the vehicle response, and definitely if vehicle is present in the database in the car service, definitely it will give the vehicle response, and it will proceed further. Then it will fetch the vehicle, and after that, the request which we have received from the front end for the customer ID, because this particular customer has raised the request for booking the vehicle, right? So again, we are not querying it with the database. This booking service will call the user service. Now I'll simply open this, and again, by using this architecture, this Fin client on the user service, we can clearly see that it will call the car rental user service Spring Boot application microservice application, and it will hit this particular API. Okay, so let me copy this fetch the user by user ID. I'll simply copy this. We are passing the user ID here, right? So let me open the user service here. I'll open the controller, and here if you notice, we have only user controller. Okay, I'll search that API, and here this particular API is responsible for fetching the user using the user ID. Fine. So here again it is querying this user service, receive the request, and it will query in the database, and if it is user is present, then if it is not present, it will simply say like no users found. But if it is present, it will set in the user, and it will pass the response as a user fetch successfully with the HTTP status as a OK. And this request response will be received by the booking service, and then if user and the variant both the things are present in the database, it will proceed further to set the fields in the booking object, booking entity, and it will set in the, and after setting all the fields, it will simply save that in the database using the DAO layer or the repository layer. Fine. And if it is added, we will simply give the response as a booking added successful. Fine. So I hope the complete thing is clear now. The request will come from the front end. Okay, the user will raise a request for booking the vehicle. The request will come from the front end to the back end. In the back end, API gateway will be responsible for receiving the request, and based on the request URL prefix, it will communicate with the service registry, and it will find that booking service is responsible for managing this particular request. And when request will receive by the booking service, it will communicate with the car and the user service whether those user and the car is already present in the DB or not. If it is not present in the database, then it will simply give the response to the front end as a bad request, and if it is present, it will proceed and it will set in the entity, and it will save that in the booking database, right? And it will pass the response to the API gateway, and it will give back the response to the front end. In the similar way, like I have explained the most critical API, which was the booking service, and through that we can easily understand now like how the complete request handling is done by the microservices, and how the internal communication is handling through the Flink line. Fine. So in the similar way, you can easily understand now any type of request. At the end, what we are doing is CRUD operation only, right? Whether we will save the data in the database or update in the database, or whether we will fetch the data from the database and we will pass that to the front end, right? So at the end, we have the same thing only, but the crucial part was like how those services will communicate with each other when required. So I have explained that particular things also, and you can go through the complete code now. And if you face any issue, you can definitely contact me. I have given the contact details in the description also. You can contact me, and you can definitely ask your doubt, and if anything is there, you can definitely drop the comment also. And now let's see the basic overview of the project, like what all functionalities I have added in this project. And after the basic overview, we will see the complete functionalities in detail.
So as we know, our project contains two modules, that is administrator module and the customer module. Firstly, admin will register and log in into the system, and after the login, admin will add multiple companies into the system, okay, like Maruti Suzuki, Mahindra, Tata Motors, Honda, etc. Then after adding the car companies, admin can add multiple car variants into the system by selecting the company. And while adding the car variants into the system, admin have to enter multiple details like car name, description, he have to upload the car image, then rent price, okay, fuel type and all he have to enter. And once he add the car into the system, it will be visible on the home page of our website. In the similar way, he can add multiple companies and multiple car variants into the system, and all the cars which is added by the admin will be visible into the home page of our website. Now when customer will visit to our website for the very first time, he will be able to see the complete car details, okay, which admin has added, and from here he can basically book for the car by selecting the start date and the end date. But customer cannot book the car without login, okay. So firstly he have to register into the system, and after the registration he can log in into the system, and after the login he have to enter the driving license detail. And now since customer registration is also done, customer can log in into the system and he can book the car by selecting the car and by selecting the start date and the end date. Now once customer books the car, the request will go to the admin, and now admin can view that request from the customer in the dashboard. Okay, and from here he can see the complete detail about the booking which customer has made, and along with that admin can also view the customer details along with the driving license detail, and from here basically he can reject or approve the booking. Okay, so let's suppose he approves the booking, then at that time he will verify the customer detail, his license, and also while approving he have to assign the car. Okay, because these are the cars which is uploaded by the admin, those are not actual car but those were the car details. Okay, but during the booking approval admin have to assign the actual car with the registration number, so that part is also there in this project. Okay, that we will see in the later part of the video, but as of now while approving the booking admin will assign the car also with the registration number to this customer booking. And now since booking is approved by the admin, customer can make the payment and he can confirm the booking, and at the end admin will be able to see the complete detail about the customer and the booking details in his dashboard. So this was a basic overview of the project. We will see the complete project in detail in few minutes, but before that I would like to request you guys to please do like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because it really takes lots of time and effort for creating such type of projects. Students can use this project for the learning purpose. They can also refer this project to create their own project, and also this project is really good for the resume also. So hit that subscribe button to motivate me to create more such type of project for you guys. Now without wasting any time, let's see the complete project in detail, and for that let's go to the other end.
So since our service registry and the API gateway is already running, so let's run our other microservices also. So we have to run this booking service, car service, and this user service, because this backend master is our monolithic application. So let me run the user service now. I'll click on restart from here. So we can see here started car rental user application, and also if you notice while starting the user service this query executed. Okay, so let me show what is this. Okay, so if you go to the user service here, and in the main application if you go, which is annotated with the Spring Boot applications, here I have used command line runner. So what we have written here is like during the application startup it will check every time, it will check whether the default admin is present in the database or not. Okay, if the default admin is not present in the database, then it will simply add that in the database. So what I have written here is it will query the database whether this email ID and with this role user is present or not. If it is not, it will log admin not found in the system, so adding the default admin. Okay, and it will set this default admin with this email ID, this password, and this role. Okay, role admin, and it will save in the database. So that's the reason that particular query executed. Fine. Now after that let's run the booking service. Until then let me show that the Eureka server, and here we can see our user service is also running fine. Let's see the booking service now. Let me run the car service also. Okay, so I'll simply restart this also. So we can see if the application which is currently running is, we can find that using the green icon, this upper icon, and the one which is starting. Okay, we can see this icon, running icon. Fine. So let me load this. That means both the services are running only now. So now we can see all our applications, microservices are running fine now, and we can see the upper icon here in the boot dashboard. Now let me reload it, the Eureka server, and we should be able to see all the microservices. So we can see API gateway, booking service, car registry, user service, right? So all these four microservices got registered in the service registry or the Eureka server. Fine. And now since our backend application is running fine, let's run the front-end application. So for running the front-end application, you simply have to run the command npm start. Okay, but before running it, let me tell you very important thing, that if you are not able to see these node modules, okay, that means the dependencies are not there with the application. Okay, so you will have to install all the dependencies. For running that, you will have to run the command npm install. So if this node modules folder is not present here, you will have to run the command npm install, and after installing the dependencies, then you can run the command npm start. So now since in our case node modules are present, so I'll simply run the command npm start and let our React.js application run now.
So now since both our Spring Boot and React.js application is running fine, let's see the complete project in detail. So this is the home page of our website. Okay, so here we can see all the cars which is added by the admin. Okay, and here from here customer can basically search the cars by using the company name. Okay, so let's suppose I want Tata company cars. Okay, Mahindra. Okay, Mahindra Thar, then Honda, and if I select the normal one, then we will be able to see the all cars again. Okay, and from here in the navigation bar we can see we have got two options, that is register and the login user. So from register form, from here basically the customer can register themselves into the system, and from here customer and admin can log in. Okay, and I'll go to the home page now. So now let's suppose customer wants to book Mahindra Thar. Okay, so here in this page customer will be able to see the complete detail about the this car. Okay, Mahindra Thar, then diesel. Okay, fuel type you can see, then seating capacity, then the company name, is it AC or not, so here we have written no. Okay, so all these things are dummy data. Okay, then this is the model number. Okay, then this is the year, and this is the rent price. Okay, and from here by selecting the from and to date, customer can basically book the car. Okay, so let's book for next month, 1 to April 2. Okay, April 1st to April 2, I'll click on book car, but here we can say please log in to book your car. Okay, so because we have not logged in as a customer as of now. Okay, so yeah, we have to log in as a customer to book any car. So from here firstly I'll log in as an admin, as I have shown in the like overview part. Firstly let's log in as an admin. So I'll enter the email ID and the password of the admin. But the thing is, the question here is, like till now we have not registered any admin into the system. Okay, but then how come basically I'm able to log in? Okay, this is the question. So here the thing is, like when we run our Spring Boot application for the very first time in our application, so it by default registers a default admin. Okay, demo admin, that is. Okay, into the system. So by using that credential we can basically log in into the system. So I've entered the credential now. I'll click on the login now. Logged in successful. And as soon as I logged in as a admin, in the navigation bar we can see we have got multiple options here. Okay, the first one is register admin, so admin can basically register another admin also. Let's register another admin also. I'll give admin only. I'll copy this email ID, register, admin registered successful. Okay, and now I can log out and again log in with the new credential also. Okay, login successful again. So by using the new admin credential also, now I have logged in into the system. Okay, after the register admin, the next option is add company. Okay, from here we can add another company also. So I'll add a Renault this time. Okay, and I can write any description here. Okay, as of now I'll just enter the name Renault only, add company. Okay, and company added, successful. Now here, after that, when I click here, so we can see Renault company also. So we can select this and we can search the car from here. And since we have not added any car in the Renault company, so that's why we are not able to see any car in this. Okay, then the next option is add variant. So from here we can add the variant also. So I'll give the variant name as this one, and same thing I'll give for the variant description also. And from here I'll select the company name as Renault only, and model we can give as okay, Ren XYZ. Okay, here I'm entering any data, okay, dummy data you can say. Okay, for the demo purpose I can give here 2024 year as, and fuel type I can give like diesel, petrol. Okay, let's select petrol. Then is AC, so let's select yes. And setting capacity we can give here like 5. Okay, and rent price let's keep as 4000. Okay, for this, and I'll choose the variant image from here. Now after selecting the image, now I've entered the complete detail now, so I'll click on the add variant, and we got redirected to the home page, and we can see our car got added here. Okay, and we can click here and we can see the complete detail here. We can see the car image, the name here, this is the description. Okay, we can add long description also here, and we can see here the fuel type, seating type, Renault. Then the rent price is 4000. Okay, and admin can also not like book any car. Okay, because we have not logged in as a customer. Okay, admin cannot book any car. So yeah, we have added the variants also, and we can see the complete detail of variant. And after that, the next option is variants. Okay, so we can click here, and here also we can see the complete detail about all the variants which admin has added till now. Okay, so here there are total 4 variants. Okay, which customer can see in the home page. We have got multiple options. Okay, in each variant, like in the action part. Okay, so admin can basically update the details from here. Okay, let's make to RXE 10. Okay, and in the similar way, and I'll paste multiple times. Okay, then I'll choose the image again which I want to update. Okay, and seating capacity let's make it to 4. Is AC, let's make it to no. Okay, fuel type we can make diesel, and company also we can change. Okay, now update the variant, and now we can see here RXC 10. Okay, when I click here we can see our description here. Okay, it also got updated here, and is AC is no, and the seating capacity previously it was 5, now it is 4. Okay, and also the it got changed to diesel from the petrol. Okay, and again I'll click on the variants. Now we have updated. We can also delete the variants. Okay, so let's delete this Maruti Suzuki, this variant. Okay, so delete. Okay, and here it automatically got disappeared from here, and now if I go to the home page, so we can see that car got deleted from the home page also. Okay, now the next option after update and delete is view vehicles. Okay, so I'll click here. So from here we can add the vehicle. Actually the here the thing is, this is the variants. Okay, just like we can say the car detail which customer can see, but actual vehicle also admin have to add. Okay, with the actual registration number. Okay, which we have for our car or bike. Okay, so we can add multiple vehicles also with the actual registration number. Okay, so as of now here I will enter any dummy data. Okay, dummy registration number. Okay, dummy RN 123. Let me give this registration number. This is dummy registration number. Okay, so I'll click on add vehicle, and vehicle added successful, and we can see it got added, and from here we can also delete it. Okay, so as of now, let me copy this. I'll delete it. We can also delete the vehicle from here. Okay, so let me add it again. Vehicle added successful, then 1 2 3 4 and 5. So total 3 vehicles admin has added in this variant. Okay, so that means we have 3 actual vehicle in this variant. Okay, now after that we have updated, deleted, and in the view vehicles we have also we can see the vehicle details. Okay, with the vehicle registration number, and we can also add the actual vehicle in the variant. Okay, the next option is bookings. Okay, so when I click on the bookings, so admin will be able to see all the bookings, okay, which is booked by our customer. Okay, so we can see the complete detail here, like which variant customer has booked, okay, what is the booking ID, for how many days he has booked, and what will be the total price for all 3 days. The customer name we can see here, booking time also, when customer has booked this booking, from and to date we can see, and also we can see the status here. Okay, this was approved by the admin, and this is cancelled by the customer, and this is approved and paid and confirmed by the customer. Okay, and this was the vehicle numbers, okay, which is assigned by the admin to the customer, okay, for their booking. And for this the payment is pending, for this pending, and for this it is paid and confirmed. Okay, and also we can view the complete detail here. Okay, like I'll click on view. Okay, for this booking we can see the complete detail about this also. So from here we can see the complete detail, okay, about the customer booking. So this was the variant, okay, company name, model number, okay, this is the vehicle registration number. Okay, this vehicle was assigned by the admin to this booking. Okay, and the booking status is paid and confirmed, and this is the booking detail, like this is the booking ID, booking time, from and to date, total price, and the payment status is paid. Then customer detail we can see here. Okay, contact, email, vehicle registration number we can see here. Then driving license also we can see. Okay, these are dummy details. Okay, dummy license number and expiry date, and this is the dummy driving license image. Okay, I have uploaded for this customer, and this is the payment detail. Okay, this is the transaction time when customer has paid for this booking, and this is the transaction reference ID, okay, which will be unique for each transaction. Okay, and this is the amount paid by the customer. Okay, so in the similar way, like admin can view the complete booking detail from this section. Okay, now the next option is customers. So from here customer can see admin can see all the customers which is registered into the system along with the driving license. Okay, so this is our latest customer. Okay, so I'll click on view, and here admin can view the complete detail about the customer along with the driving license. Okay, so now I'll log out as a admin, and I will log in as a customer. Okay, so firstly I'll register a new customer. So I'll name the customer as customer 10. Okay, customer 10, last name also customer 10, email ID customer 10. Here I'm entering the dummy data, okay, for the demo purpose. Contact number, street, demo city, demo pin code. I will copy the email ID for the login. Okay, register user, and user registered successful. Now I can log in as a customer with the same email ID, okay, which is fresh customer registered. Okay, I'll click on login, logged in successful, and as soon as I logged in as a customer, I'll get two options in the navigation bar, that is my bookings and the my profile. So firstly I'll click on my bookings. Definitely this will be empty because just now I have registered into the system and I have not booked any car till now. Okay, the next option is my profile. So I'll click on it, and here I can see my personal detail, okay, like first name, last name, email ID, contact, address, okay, all these details I can see here. The next option is the driving license. Since I have just now registered in the system, I have not uploaded the driving license also, so I have got the option to add the license here, okay. So when I click on the add license, okay, I have to enter the license number, license expiry date, and I have to upload the license pic, okay. So I'll give the license number as dummy 123456. This is dummy license number I have added, and I will give the expiry as 2028 or 2030 Jan. Okay, and I'll select the license pic from the system. Sample license. Now I will add license. Customer driving license added successful. And now when I click on my profile, so we can see here the complete detail, okay, driving license, driving license number, and the expiry date, along with the driving license image, which is dummy. Okay, now I'll book any one car, okay, that is this one, which is I have added, which is the latest car. Okay, so let me book this. Now since I have logged in as a customer, then it should allow me to to book the car. Okay, so I'll select from April 1 to April 3. Okay, that is for 3 days I want, and for per day the charges is 4,000. So I'll book the car now. Booking added successful. And now when I click on my bookings, so we can see the complete detail about the booking. Okay, customer name, the total price will be 12,000 definitely, because for one day it is 4,000, for 3 days definitely it will be 12,000. And booking ID we can see here, booking time, okay, and also from day 1 to, sorry, April 1st to April 3. Okay, and the status is as of now pending, and the vehicle is not assigned till now, and the payment is also pending. Okay, we can cancel the booking at any time from here. Okay, so let me cancel, okay, as of now. And we can see the status is deactivated now. Okay, and now let me book again. I'll select the date from April 1st to April 3rd. Okay, book the car, and booking added successful. And now if I go to the my bookings, we can see here the total price is 12,000, and the status is pending, and the payment is also pending. Now I can click on the view button, and again I can see the complete detail here, okay, about the booking. Okay, so as of now booking status is pending, vehicle registration is not assigned by the admin till now, payment status is pending. Okay, and the booking ID is this. Okay, total price is 12,000, and also payment detail here is pending, and the amount paid is 0 till now. And customer can also see his driving license here. And now what I will do is I will log out as a customer, and I will log in as a admin. So here we can see this customer 10 has had booked this car, okay, from 1st to 3rd, but later on he deactivated, means he has cancelled the booking. Okay, it should be cancelled actually. Okay, no issues, I'll fix it. Okay, and he can view the bookings from here. Okay, the booking status is deactivated, payment status is pending. Okay, since this is cancelled by the customer itself, then no issues. Okay, then after that, this is the latest booking from the customer 10, okay, which we have booked, okay, from day April 1st to April 3rd. The status is as of now pending. Okay, and vehicle is not assigned till now. Okay, so we can firstly click here. Okay, admin can see the complete detail about the customer also, like driving license, okay, his personal detail. If he is satisfied, then he can approve the booking. Okay, so here we have got the option to update. Okay, so I'll click on the update button here, and as soon as I click on the update button, I can see the booking ID. Okay, and from here admin can basically approve or reject the booking. Okay, so let's approve. Okay, so if I click on rejected, then it will get rejected. Okay, and customer will not get the option to pay and confirm the booking. Okay, but as soon as we click on the approved button, then at that time we will get one option to select the vehicle. Okay, and we know in this Renault category, like for this variant, we have added 3 cars. Okay, that is dummy 1 to 3, dummy 1 to 4, and 1 to 5. Correct, these 3 cars we have added, right? So let's suppose admin wants to assign this car, okay, for this customer booking. So we can do that, and we can click on the update status now, and booking updated successful, and we can see here the status is now approved from the admin side, and the this vehicle registration number, okay, this vehicle number is assigned to this car booking, and as of now the payment status is pending. Now again, if I click on the booking, we can see here the booking status is approved now, okay, but the payment status is pending. Okay, customer has now till now not paid the amount. Okay, so what I will do, I will log out as a admin and will log in as a customer 10. Okay, invalid email ID. Okay, okay, logged in successful now, and I'll click on my bookings, and as soon as admin approved the status, okay, we can see the status approved, and the vehicle number is also assigned for my customer booking. Okay, so as soon as customer approved the status, I have got one option called pay and confirm, and again I'm getting the option to cancel. Okay, since I have not paid the amount for this booking, so I can cancel the booking. Okay, I have option to cancel the booking. Okay, but once customer pays the amount and confirms the booking, then after that he cannot cancel the booking. Okay, so now I'll click on pay and confirm. So as soon as we click on the pay and confirm button, so we will get this page, payment details page, and from here customer can enter the payment detail and pay the amount. Okay, so we have to pay 12,000, right? So we can pay, and we can book the amount. As of now, like I have not integrated any payment gateway. Okay, but definitely if I get the request from the students, so I'll integrate the Razorpay or PayPal payment gateway. Okay, so here, since it is dummy, then I will enter the dummy data only. Okay, dummy name, card number, I have entered the dummy data here. Now I'll click on the pay button. Congratulations, payment successful, and it is paid and confirmed now. Status is paid and confirmed now, and the payment status is also paid. Okay, now if I click on the view button, and one more thing, we are not getting the option of cancel button here. Okay, we cannot cancel this because we have paid and confirmed for this booking. And now if I click on the view button, we can see payment status is paid. Okay, booking status is paid and confirmed, and here status is paid and transaction time is this. Okay, and the payment, this is the unique reference ID for my payment, and the amount paid is 12,000. Okay, previously it was amount 0. Okay, so this was the approved case. Now I'll book one more car. Okay, for April 1st. Okay, book the car, and now this time I'll click on the my bookings. Okay, it got added here. This pending, so I'll log out as a customer, and I will log in as a admin. This time let's reject the car booking. Okay, logged in, and I'll click on the bookings, and here I'll click on update, and here I'll select rejected, update, and here we can see the status is rejected and vehicle is not assigned. Okay, but this was approved, so that's why admin have to like give the vehicle registration number. Okay, you have to assign the vehicle also for the customer booking, but here it is rejected, so no need of assigning any vehicle. Okay, now if I click here, so booking status is rejected. Okay, So this was the complete overview of the project. Okay, I hope you guys liked the complete project and all the functionalities which I have added in this project. Okay, and also I hope you guys liked the video too. If you did, please do like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because it really takes lots of time and efforts for creating such type of projects. And also we will meet soon in my next video. Till then, take care and bye bye.